This is my favorite room in the whole shop here. This is where all the noise is, this is where all the production is, and this is where all the final numbers are. This is what friendship's all about and teamwork. You know, I built both their engine, Phillips, Roberts, and here we are in the same dining room where we share everything, friendship, racing, components, and then there's competition with each other. And at the end, we're all friends, and here we are.
I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. Hi, I'm Nick, and welcome to my shop. Well, we got something special here today. We've got Robert, who's a good friend of ours, and also a good friend of my brother Philip, who deal and race every weekend at the racetrack on a local track here in Quebec. And you know, we had a video made on this 360 stroker that he's got here, which is a 408 cubic inch, which we built and made a video on it back in 2019. And the engine was running good, this and that, and you know, he had no problems with it, very consistent. He came back here, the reason why, because cylinder number 3 kept filling up with water. So then we said, you know, these blocks were not designed to go into heavy racing, but you know, then he brought me another block, we had a sonic test it, the walls were pretty thin. Then we said, you know what, let's put 8 sleeves in this engine. That's all we did, 8 sleeves. So then we said, you know, at the same time, we'll put it back in the dyno. And here we are, we'll do a few testing. We did some tests with the 750 carburetor before, but Robert wants to run it with his Holley 770 CFM vacuum secondaries, the way you've been running it for so many years. And Robert, what kind of a car does it go in?
That's a 1971 Dodge Dart Swinger, golden colors. The people who goes to Napierville Dragway knows my car.
And I've heard that you have a lot of history with your family when it comes to Mopars.
Oh yes, I'm a Mopar fan since 1968 when my father bought a 1969, brand new 1969 Chrysler Newport Custom. My father bought that car during the summertime. So when my father walks in the salesman's office, the salesman was in the process to sell that car that my father ordered back in August to somebody else. Well, let me tell you that when he walked out of that office, the contract was under his name, my father's name.
So your father placed the order, somebody else wanted to buy it.
Exactly.
But your father came back in time and saved it.
Yeah.
And got the car.
Yes, because that car was a special order with trailer pack. We used to do some camping and back in the day. So that's, back in 1968, I became a Mopar since my father bought that car.
It makes sense, just like myself. My first car was a Mopar back in 1973 with a 6-cylinder Duster. I love all the muscle cars, but I grew up with Mopars. That's my specialty, and we seem to have the same background like yourself.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to say that Robert races very often, every weekend, just like my brother. And you know, right now we want to do some testing. He's back here, and we found out the other day we had a problem with the cooling system, which he has an electric water pump that was overheating within a few minutes. So now temporarily we put a Chrysler original water pump, external driven electric pump, or electric motor I should say, just to do some testing. So here we are, we're going to finalize it with this carburetor, and of course it is a dual plane intake manifold. It's got Elderbach aluminum heads with a solid flat tappet camshaft. It's got a compression ratio of 180 psi cylinder pressure, and of course we got headers on it. It's a flat tappet, it's got adjustable rockers, and that's about it. And Robert, do you have anything to say about this engine?
That engine, I'm very proud of that engine. It's very consistent. That's the way that we kept exactly the same recipe. It's just the cylinder walls that have been replaced. Camshaft and everything remains the same. It's just that you told me that the piston rings are a little bit tighter.
Yes, because you know, before we did the job, 5 years ago when we did the 30 over, the cylinder piston to wall clearance was like a 6 thou. Now that we got 8 sleeves, we went to 3 thou piston to wall clearance. We're recommended by this piston manufacturer, which is Mali. So we might build up a little bit more heat, but you won't notice it with this water pump. So we're good. And the most important thing is that this engine has to be consistent. My brother and I were doing some tests earlier this week just to try it before Robert came into town, of course, to see how it goes. Everything went well. It got pretty consistent. So my brother's going to come join us in a few minutes. We'll get it warmed up so we can show viewers what we've got here. And I also wanted to mention that now that we did the 8 sleeves on it, we did some testing and we noticed we had a little bit of valve flow at 56, 57 RPM. Now we went to a new style of beehive valve springs. We got the pressure we need, and this is the reason why it's back on the dyno, for that reason. So let's get it started and see how it goes.
Okay, I will just say thanks to my wife who let me race for 20 years at Napierville. About every weekend, every single program, I'm about there. So thanks to my wife to let me race, to live my passion.
Good for you. My wife, like tonight, I'm going to Kingston, Ontario. I'm never home, like you. You're always at the racetrack. I'm always working late or out of town. But my wife knew that before I got married to her. Anyways, it's all good. So I'll call Philip down. I'll warm it up, and let's get going.
Let's get going.
I'm going to put my O2 sensor, warm it up. Give it a few minutes, okay, Robert? That's your oil pressure, manifold pressure, fuel line, front flow ball, fuel 2 is the second flow ball, water temperature, and the oil sump, I don't have it connected. And that's the battery voltage, air-fuel ratio, and the barometer, air temperature inside the room, humidity, barometer. So let's see how it goes. And when I put the new springs, I got it started, I broke in the cam the same way like a new cam, because we added 20 more pounds on these springs, 25 pounds. So I want to make sure we don't wear out the cam, so I did it the same way. Okay. And I still have the zinc oil inside. I try to prevent any damage at all.
And you say you put it on the lash at 22.
22 hot.
Okay.
The same thing what we finished last time. See how fast it works now? Look at that. This one has big propellers compared to Measure. Anyways.
But Measure is better than the Proform ones. Proform do not make a small block Chrysler anymore, but Measure is the Cadillac one. And this one is on the car for at least 6 years, 7 years.
I'm surprised because it overheated right away. I go, what's going on? And I thought maybe it's my sensor. I changed the sensor. Then I brought the thermostat cooler. It kept overheating. I said, no.
Each time that I started, I put my hand on the hose, the radiator hose, and I see if there is flow, water flow.
I have a light here, the blue light, and that's it's internal, it's the blue light. And also I removed the hose. That's why I put it transparent, so you can see it. But I wanted to make sure the flow. I took it off, we put it on, and we saw very little circuit. That's where my brother and I went to this, and we checked that this one has a big flow. Okay. Watch, it's 123, right?
Yeah.
Look. Watch this. And now, at 22, you're creating a lot of heat. At idle, you don't make heat.
I raised the car before somewhere between 140 and 160.
Okay, so we're going to check the numbers here.
Yeah, that's good.
I want to warm up the oil too at the same time.
What kind of oil we have in right now?
1030 VR1.
Okay.
A VR1 mineral with zinc and 1 zinc additive.
I raced 2050.
Yeah, I prefer 2050 on a hot day. 6,000 RPM. You want it cooler than 160?
That's
good.
That's the maximum that I go
Yeah,
on the
okay,
racing.
okay.
If I go over that,
Yeah.
I'm not able to predict exactly what the car will
Okay,
run.
okay.
But it will run. But
Okay,
it
I'm
will
gonna let it
change.
idle.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute, look at my oil light.
Hey, Robert, how many races do you think you've taken down since the last time Nick rebuilt this engine in 5-6 years? How many races is that?
Exactly 865.
And how many of those did you win?
I don't know, but I won many championships, local championship at Napierville through the years. I won Mopars, not Mopars, but Wally trophies, King of the Track, and Wallies. I got 5 Wallies at home that I won, and many championships. I think with Sanaya and Napierville, with local racetrack championship, I'm up to like 21 years of racing. I got 13 championship, I guess. So I went with the Zeeks. After that, the DJ Racing, Daniel Gagnon. I was very satisfied with both of them, but they were too busy to rebuild another engine. I came to Nick, to Philippe, because we raced so much together. So I would see him every weekend. So I said, well, let's go to Nick's to have a new engine built. But it was fine. It's just that the cylinder wall cracked. Otherwise, all the bearings were good, the camshaft, everything. We kept the same dishes. The internal parts remains the same, except the valve springs. The rest remains the same. But the guy who did my transmission is Rudy Costinaro. He's very good. He's a friend of Nick. Everybody knows him. He's very good, so I'm happy with him. And thank you, Rudy, for the transmission. 727 Chrysler Sport Life. Yeah. Nice guy.
Philip's gonna come in 2 minutes.
Okay.
Let's make the test how it goes.
Okay.
This is your carburetor, Robert.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Okay. So
Here we go. Oil pressure is good. Vacuum, the 770 CFM. Take a look.
I gotta be.
You know how to read this anyway, so I'll print it out for you in the meantime. Not bad, eh? 468 at 5,500.
That's very good. Over 500 pounds of torque, up to 4,500. Yeah, and it remains very close to 500.
Yeah. Don't forget, we're running a small block here. We still have good torque numbers.
Yeah.
We got torque up to 508.9 at 4,000 RPM. And the horsepower came in at 468.3 at 5,500 RPM. And if you want to take a look at the graph, look how smooth it goes. Check this out.
Oh yeah, that's very smooth.
Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, very smooth.
And of course, we want to finalize it the way it is. This is your carburetor. This is what my brother and I were doing for you yesterday. Then we left it for you to come and see it today before. Of course, like I do with all my clients, I like to have the owner of the engine come here, look at it live on the dyno if they ever have a chance to be here in person.
I appreciate it.
No, and you're here for us, so I'm happy.
Here comes another Wally.
Yeah, how many Wallies you got?
5.
5 Wally trophies.
Yeah.
Nice.
And the one that I'm the proudest one is the King of the Track one.
And guess who I beat in the in the finals? I went against who? Philippe Penaratis.
You and my brothers are always in the finals.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's good. That's good. All good.
That was a close race.
Yeah. And look at the oil pressure, 72 pounds at 6,000 RPM.
Yeah, that's very good.
So you're looking at this, Robert. If you want to do any changes, you let me know.
This is 30 timing.
30 degrees timing, yes.
And you did test yesterday that 32 was lower.
If you wish, I'll put you to timer light. You're going to see it.
We're talking about you.
For me? Talking about you, yeah.
He says, you won how many Wallies you won? I said 5. And the one that I'm the proudest one is the king of the track when I beat, guess who in the final? You! With the duster.
Yeah. So Philip, take a look at the first test with this carburetor. Check it out.
This
pretty
is
impressive, pretty good. I like it.
Yeah.
I think Robert likes it too.
Yep.
No, you guys are racers. You guys know what you want. You guys take it from here. If you need any help, I'll be there to help you out.
The numbers of the horsepower are very similar to the engine that was built
5 years ago?
Yeah.
Torque is 508, 509 torque.
Looks good. With that carburetor, the vacuum carburetor, right?
No space or nothing, as is.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, that's what you wanted.
Robert, if you want to upgrade with this engine sometime, you should think about putting a single plane intake or the double pump.
Yeah.
That'll be a good match for you. Like a 700, 750. 750 double pump with a single plane intake.
And you gain about what, 20 horsepower? 20?
Maybe 10, 20. And maybe your 60 foot up will be better for sure with that double pump. You'll notice it.
Single plane, yeah. Dual plane is more like a streetable intake manifold. But that's your options in the future.
Yeah, in the future.
Go by.
Just the intake and the carburetor, that'll be a good combination because that cam will work good with that intake, single plane and double pump.
That comes in.
Because you have overlap, so it should work good for you. What's this vacuum anyway?
Vacuum? We'll check it now. I think you have about 10, 12 inches of vacuum on idle. We'll start it up again. We'll take it from here.
Robert, that's manual brakes.
So we got more than 1 horsepower per cubic inch.
Yeah.
468 versus 408 cubic inches. Not bad at all. 360.
Have you ever thought that if going from 32 to 30 we gain something, if you go 28, do you think that we will gain something else?
You want to try?
I think that
This is last time, man.
this
Go ahead. I'll set up the timing and we'll take it from there. Here we go. So we did good time. We did some testing yesterday. We had it at 32 degrees. But just before we left last night, my brother and I, we hit it to 30 degrees. We got the same power, but we gained about 8-9 foot-pounds of torque. So now we're going to try 28 degrees like Robert wants to try. He says he always had it best at 30. We're at 30 degrees right now, full advance on the timing. So let's try 28 and then we'll take it from there. You know, Robert and Philip go back a long way in the racetrack. They've been racing all this time and they know their stuff. So, you know, I just put the engine together. I know they have their own modifications and tuning. So I'm here to help them do as much as you can. And then until the future, the car will be back into my shop so we can do the installation. But in the meantime, let's max it out, see what he likes, and we'll take it from there. Okay, let me lock it up in place, take off the timing light. Okay, lock it up, we got 28 degrees. and let's see how it goes. You know what? I got to remove my timing light because in many cases I forget it in the dining room. The noise and the vibrations in this room is enormous when you have it at full throttle. I've gone through quite a few timer lights, so let's not forget it this time. All right, let's make a test at 28 degrees and see how it goes.
I can't wait to see what's gonna happen.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. 28 is one thing we haven't tried yet.
First time ever at 28.
Here we go.
I don't think it likes it, eh?
You guys want to look at your numbers? Go right ahead. I'm just going to shut it down. There we
Print
go.
that out, Nick.
Okay.
Print it, print it.
This is 28 degrees, you guys. Unless
Okay,
you want me to make,
No,
unless you want me to make a back-to-back test.
No, I want to check something.
Take a look at it. Tell me what you think. Give us a few minutes to analyze it. Now we have it at 28 degrees, full advance, and our numbers are 462.1 at 5,500 RPM, less than before, and our torque numbers are 503.9 at 4,000 RPM. Looks like it likes the 30 degrees better, but anyways, I'll let Robert and Philip decide what they want to do, and that's our numbers. So 30 degrees seems to be our magic number.
It is a testament to the gentlemanly nature of the sport of bracket racing, the way these three men work together. Robert and Phil regularly face each other in competitions at the track, and they both have had their engines built by Nick. It's hard to imagine such a cooperative scenario in the competitive atmosphere of other motorsports.
This is what friendship's all about. This is what friendship's all about, and teamwork. Yeah. You know, I built both their engines, Phillips, Roberts, and here we are in the same dining room. We share everything, friendship, racing, components, and then just competition with each other. And at the end, we're all friends, and here we are.
So that's 28 right here.
Yeah. So put it back to 30 and
Put it back to 30?
Oh, yes, yes.
So 150, 160 is your water temperature.
Yes, when I
Okay,
race.
so we'll make another
Yeah, 140 to 160, that's where I race.
140, 160
And
Fahrenheit.
you check, Philip knows that too. You check the tranny oil temperature to make the car consistent.
Yes.
Being a bracket racer, the most important thing is not just power, but to be consistent. So all these parameters have to be perfect.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna put it back at 30.
Yes.
Here we go. Okay, we're back at 30 degrees. I guess we're gonna stay with it there and see what else we want to do. You know, after all, these guys are racers. They know what they want. My job is to set it up what they want, leave it at that, and that's it. So there they are. They're doing all the work for me. You know, this is what I enjoy doing. You know, this is my favorite room in the whole shop here. This is where all the noise is. This is where all the production is, and this is where all the final numbers are. And of course, we had our dyno, like I said a few times. We always had it calibrated with SuperFlow. It's right on the money, it's accurate, and it's exactly what we want. Right now, we had a lot of snow in the past few days, and Robert wants to bring the car here in a few days so I could reinstall the engine back in the car. And you know, we need time. We've got other projects going on, and been working late every night trying to catch up. There's a few new projects coming into my shop, so everything's going well. I'm getting my parts, and I got my A team here today helping me out, and yesterday too. We stayed here last night till 9 o'clock, and we never stopped. And if you guys like this content, what we do here and what we show, subscribe to our channel, Nick's Garage. And of course, don't forget to press the like button. And you guys, it doesn't cost anything, and it sure helps, let me tell you. Thank you. So, you know, we done quite a few testing on this, and you see the results. We maxed out your carburetor, whatever the engine has, with the 94 octane, and of course, we're leaving it at 30 degrees where it was best at.
Yeah.
So we're done with it, Robert. What do you think?
Yes, I'm very satisfied with what the engine did. I was curious to make. I used to run at 32. I always thought that 30 would be better, and today with the new configuration of the valve springs, it is. We tried 28 just to make sure that we're at the right spot, and we are at the right spot with 30. So 30 is the place to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, Robert, thank you for coming. And now we just want your car to come in so you could do the installation. And let me say thank you to all our viewers here on Nick's Garage. You guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed our video today on Robert's 360 stroke of 408 cubic inch. And of course, it's got more than 1 horsepower per cubic inch. And there you have it. Yes, we did build this engine 5 years ago in 2019, like I said earlier. But the question was, when the cylinder cracked, the engine was running fine.
Yeah.
It's only when the cylinder cracked that the cylinder was getting water. And that is the only reason it came back. So we put in new sleeves, put it all back the same way. And here we are today, continuation. Right?
Right.
Thanks for watching. And you guys, if you look down below the video, we have a whole bunch of merchandise that you guys can buy. So whatever you like, buy it, love it, wear it, and enjoy it. And help spread the word of Nick's Garage. And if you have some time, check out our Patreon page. We have extra content, and you guys can watch it and take it from there. And we'll see you next time.